Alright, don't die, don't die, don't die. Not worth the death. They got zone, it's fine.
No, they don't, brother.
I think send it.
Oh.
Holy.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Winnable, winnable.
If you've never played Armagetron before, a lot of these clips probably look really chaotic, but every single one of these plays is intentional. There's a lot of strategy, prediction, and positioning happening behind the scenes. After one of my recent shorts blew up, a lot of you guys asked for a deeper breakdown of what's actually going on, so let's do that. In this video, I'll be using a lot of strategy and terminology that I cover in my Fortress overview video, so I'll link that below and make sure you check it out. I'll start here with some general Fortress gameplay. You'll be able to hear the live comms as they happen.
Center,
Bro.
Center.
left, left, left. Yes, that.
Hey,
Nice.
Cap.
Good job.
Alright, I'll just sumo def this with you. Jay-Z's gonna try to send it.
Yeah.
He can't. Yeah.
Jay-Z just got f***ing dookied on.
Okay, so there's a lot going on there, so we're going to take a closer look at this sequence here. Here I see that my center was eliminated and their center is conducting a center attack down our grind. So my role here is now just to play man coverage and prevent their other winger from following up this center attack. Their center was eliminated in the bottle, but behind him he left this tunnel directly into our zone. So I'm just hovering around at the end of this tunnel, glancing back at him to see if he tries to make a play on it. And there he is, thinking he's being sneaky, so I turn around and stab the wall just hard enough so I'll be underneath him, pop out, and leave some traps for him that he can't survive. And now my defense should be much more likely to set up. This is a clip of one of my favorite holing techniques in Fortress called the coin slot hole.
Force. Oh,
Let's go.
goated. Absolutely goated.
I couldn't block off both ways.
This tech is cool because it shows you that you can break down a fully set up sweep with just a little bit of teamwork. So this sweeper's making his pass on the front now, and the defender is all the way on the other side of the zone. So we're going to watch the final sweeper closely to see how he seals the front. So he didn't use much rubber on the seal, and it's in a straight line, so these are ideal conditions to attempt a coin slot hole. In doing so, I stab the wall and immediately put a hole on the def. He carefully threads underneath me and pops out in front of the player and gets a whole zone to himself. And that's a fully set up sweep and def to a spinning zone in 2 seconds. In this play, I set up my sweep a little too wide for the tail length, so it was obvious I wasn't going to make it back to center in time to block these two attackers. So I tapped on the brakes and stalled my clearing line a little bit to get a lucky kill. Sometimes the most desperate plays are the ones that catch your opponents most off guard. This is a late hole, which is kind of a situational strategy that takes a long and boring 1v1 and turns it into a quick and easy gank for your team. Here I notice my teammate leaving a hole on the def. And instead of taking it immediately, I just try to set myself up to gain as much speed as possible. The objective is to race the defender to the hole and cut it as close as you can. If timed correctly, you can pin him to the outside and have the whole zone to yourself for a gank. This clip shows how consequential Fortress is and how one decision can flip the outcome of a round. I'm leaving my defense to go attack here when I get the notification that our def is down. I speed back to see that this attacker is waiting for this wall to disappear. I wedge in and draw a line between him and the zone and put a heavy seal in the corner to lock him out. Now we're able to reset our defense in peace. This one is an example of a classic no-point hole. Here I notice that 2 of my teammates are speeding towards me. I quickly lay a wall between them and the defense, so when they go to hole, it registers as friendly fire. Now we get to gank without giving any points away to the other team. But the best kinds of holes are quick gank holes, where you get multiple teammates in one fell swoop. 2 of us getting in here means we have an immediate player advantage in the zone for an easy gank. Off the split, a sweeper will scan for what their attackers are doing. Looks like we've got a center attack here and a block all the way to the wall here. meaning all of this space will be protected so I can go up and attack immediately. Doing this shape here adds a little speed check in case some of my enemies want to use my line for speed later on. In stabbing this wall, I put myself on the right side of the middle lane, which in turn blocks me from these two bad guys and gives me a clear path to the enemy zone. I'm able to retrace my center's dead tail and use of her speed, blocking off the sweeper and pinning the defender back, earning the whole zone. This is an evil play where as a sweeper I dig underneath the winger's grind, gaining as much speed as possible, and jump out and wrap the other team while they split. I've showed you some cool ways to hole, but that's a pretty lame way to enter the def when compared to cutting. So this is one of my favorite types of cuts. I set up some speed parallel to the defender and make a turn to shoot the gap in his line. Since they have the angle on me, their natural instinct is to jump out and turn in front of me. I anticipated this with a turn of my own, and now I'm zooming ahead of him. And now the def is cut and the zone is mine. Here's the clip so you can see it in real time. Here's the same kind of cut but with more space. The defender spends all of his rubber right here on my fake out, so he doesn't have enough remaining to block my real cut attempt. So now I've showed you some pretty cool Tron plays, but this is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the theory behind the game. The controls are super simple, but the teamwork and strategy is infinitely complex. There's a reason why this is one of my favorite video games of all time, so go check out my other videos or come try it out.